good sweet.
Yeah.
And and one main meal and maybe 2 side dishes would be an adequate way to throw a party.
Right. Now here's something that we're going through really interesting. How do you know when your child is no longer a child? Like, for example, now the kids today, like 10-year-olds and 11-year-olds, they pretend like the 15-year-olds of the last decade. So like, is it right to throw them a party of your choosing, or would you allow them, like if they're 11 years old, to kind of plan their own party?
No, what I meant by kids party is actually up to about 6, because after 6 years they will tell you exactly what they want to do for their birthday. Right? So then you decide how age appropriate it is and go along. And I feel kids who are 11 plus, as I said, they really don't want these very structured parties, but they really want a place to hang out with their friends. So the
like
concept,
techno music, and
the concept changes, so you need to adapt accordingly.
Right.
But kids parties, I think, stop by 8.
8 o'clock is the deadline.
No, 8 years.
Oh, after 8. Okay. Well, okay.
Where the mother has to really plan it out and worry about the plates and the food.
Right. You said that a kids party, the younger they are, the earlier the party would start. Even if, say the parents are weird and they want to have their party at like 6 o'clock in the late afternoon till around 8, is that good?
Well, if you're looking at a party for a 1-year-old, 6 to 8, by that time the child will be really tired and cranky, right? But if you're looking at a kid 4 plus, kids could stay up till about 8 plus, but it depends whether they have a school day the next day, right? But generally I would say if you're throwing a kids party, I would always suggest maybe somewhere around 4 to 7 o'clock, and maybe if the parents want to hang out, it's a different thing, but the party for the kids should end at that time.
Right. Are parties necessary? That is a brilliant one, because do kids really need a party? Can they not? Just until they're like 8. For me, to be honest, I don't remember the parties that my parents threw me. I don't, unfortunately. So let's just say after I turned 7, maybe I remember that party. I still don't remember it though. No, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't. So is it wise to kind of like just give them like a tiny celebration at your home, and then when they turn maybe 6 or 7 or 8, then just start doing the whole party thing, because they wouldn't really remember them.
As I said, this is a timeless celebrations for the parent, right? So no matter how much you say, okay, let's keep it small, but you're so excited, the child is growing, you want to celebrate, right? But what you said has a lot of solid construction there, because the child would really remember details after they are about 6 plus. So I think if you really want to spend a lot of money on their birthday, I think you should focus on 6 plus parties and keep the toddlers parties smaller.
Right. Awesome. All right. I feel like I learned a lot about. I'm going to be the best dad in the world. You're making me the best dad. Yeah. All right. So just to recap on the things that we learned today is pretty much stick to a theme. Make sure treats are fine. Candy, even cake, it's all fine for kids, and have it as early as you can when they're a kid. Got it. I'm awesome. I think the people at home are learning this too, and you have taught us how to invite kids.
And I think a party is about having fun, so I feel the parents should not get too stressed out. But if you plan it beforehand, I think it will be okay. So start early. Start early.
That is the key. Because we care about you, so we're saying start early. All right. Thank you, Arundhati, for being on the show again. Amazing stuff. And I look forward to next time when we speak about other kids things that we must learn about, because it's so complicated. Like, I didn't know there was so much of complication in a child's life. All right. So we'll go into a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with more Good Morning Sri Lanka. Welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka. In case you just tuned in, you missed out on our segment with Arundhati Sevikaranathan. We pretty much spoke about what you should do for your kid's birthday. Personally, I think all I'm going to do is just have cake all over the place and let the kids eat it. That way they would get hyper, run around, and tire themselves out. Party over. Simple as that. I do agree with Arundhati on her concerns though. Coming back, today we are going to speak about a concert that we spoke about a few weeks ago actually. It was the Real Men Don't Abuse concert, and Birender was here, a young man who obviously focuses on gender-based violence. And today we have two young men, again, from the same association, which is the Youth Association Program. We have Akhil and Rahal, who's 15 and 17. 17 and 15.
So,
good morning to you both.
Morning.
You guys don't seem really happy on a morning show. You're like, oh man, I just woke up.
No, none of us, no people our age are really happy in the morning, so...
Really? I think it's a school thing, right? Like your parents are like, get up man, you're getting there. You're like, come on, 5 more minutes. Alright, so we're here to speak about how the concert went. Akhil, could you tell us a bit about that, please?
The concert went pretty well, actually. I mean, we had some familiar faces, like Dusyant, who was Santosh's younger brother.
Yeah.
And we had quite a good turnout in terms of ticket sales. The whole place was almost booked out. And helping us backstage and with ticket sales and whatnot were people from our school, because we felt that we should involve the youth. And so we started off at our front step, which was our school. So we decided to involve everyone there.
Right. Okay, so this, again, just to make things clear, this is the Youth Association program that all of you are involved in. Birender and his foundation, which is the Birender and Sureka Sirvadana Initiative, you pretty much work with them close hand, and sorted this concert out. Do you think this made a difference, in all honesty? Go, Rahal.
Yeah, I think it has. I mean, to a large extent, Birendra's foundation has given a lot of awareness to a lot of different people. I mean, women's abuse isn't a huge detail that everyone looks into, like when it comes to poverty and hunger and stuff like that. Everyone looks at it. But I mean, with women's abuse, not everyone looks at it, not everyone sees it. But what Birendra's done is he's collaborated with his dad, and he has made it a huge issue and shown people what kind of an issue it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so far, what changes have been made since the concert had its success? As of recent?
Basically what we did was we took ticket sales and we've put into Birendra's trust fund. And what we plan to do in the near future is do a few of the objectives that Birendra set out. He's planning to basically increase awareness with the funds that he has right now, before he actually goes and gives those funds directly to someone. That way, in order to increase their awareness, not only amongst like older people, the older generation, but amongst our generation, the youth as a whole. So what he'd like to do is take that money and go out to different sort of cell groups, like Kandy, Trincomalee, Jaffna, etc., all across the country, and go to different schools and give talks and have competitions like art competitions, speech competitions, debating, etc., so that people actually understand the concept. And it's not just like we're feeding them information and telling them, okay, you have to do this because it's bad. We're actually making them understand and see why it's bad, so they actually feel passionate about the problem.
Right. So it's obviously an educational factor that you guys are trying to hit here with the public itself.
Exactly.
Let's get into the Youth Association program. We never got this far with Birender because we only focused on gender-based violence with him, but I also want to know, what does the Youth Association do apart from this project? What do you focus on apart from this?
You want to take it? Okay.
No, you take it.
Yeah, right. At the moment,
debating here.
At the moment, basically, we've been focusing primarily on Real Men Don't Abuse and the scheme it has at the current. I think Birender is actually looking into a few more projects in the near future, but our main focus is on the women's abuse and the GBV, the gender-based violence issue. It's solely because of the fact that it's an issue that a lot of people in Sri Lanka itself aren't really looking at. And I think that in Sri Lanka, a fair amount of the issues that are pertaining to whatever it is, I mean, if it's the war, if it's inequality, if it's whatever it is, I think Sri Lankans as a whole are looking into it. But what Birendra saw was that this one issue itself hasn't been looked into enough. And so until this is first sorted out, and once we've finished this project, I think we'll look into more stuff. But at the moment, it's just this, and we're solely focusing on this so we can do it properly.
Right. So wait. You said finish this project. Do you think you would be able to finish something like gender-based violence, like completely knock it off, or get people more aware by the time you guys leave this association?
I mean, what I meant by finish this project means, yeah, for one thing, to raise awareness.
Right.
Once we've raised enough awareness, well, to a certain extent, it's never enough awareness, but I mean, to the extent at which most people are aware of the problem, and most people understand the problem, and people are actually passionate about the problem. If you looked at last year, I think there was something called Kony 2012,
Yes.
about Joseph Kony and
Yeah.
the rampages that he did in Uganda and all that stuff. We want to get at that level, that sort of level, where everyone's doing it, everyone knows about it, and everyone
Yeah.
feels passionate about it, and they feel they had to be involved in some way or the other, just not only because they're passionate about it, because maybe their friends do it or whatever it is.
Right, yeah.
So once we reach that plateau and we can actually advocate women's abuse and show people that this is not the way to go, then I think we've reached that point at which, you know, it's at the point at which we don't really need to help it anymore. It's helped itself,
Yeah.
and the problem will have been resolved to a large extent.
Right, okay, so the best way to start, obviously, is with a concert, which had its huge success.
Yeah.
What is, do you have any idea what the next step is when it comes to, again, letting people know this is something that's actually happening in the country? Would it be another concert, or would it be, like, I don't know, apparently kids these days are into viral videos, not that I know anything about those.
Take it.
There's such a debate here, like, maybe I should know. No, you can take it,
Actually, we're concentrating more on the cell block idea,
Yeah.
about making the youth aware of what's going on, letting them take it into their own hands.
Right.
Because we believe that the youth have the power to change everything, the youth is the future and all that. And so therefore, because we can't take this all into our hands, we have to divide it amongst the youth and let them come up with their own ideas.
Yeah.
Because gender-based violence is a very broad concept. You've got sexual abuse on buses, you've got the right to education, which most women don't have. If they have education,
Yeah.
they are empowered, but due to the lack, they're not able to fight for themselves,
Right.
because they don't know any better. And you have domestic abuse. So these are all just categories of under gender-based violence.
Right.
So what we're going to do is inform the youth, and then they're going to come up with ideas on how to battle it in their own area. And if they want, they can contact us. We will help them whatever we can.
Right.
And they will help us.
Right.
So
on that note, we'll go into a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with more Good Morning Sri Lanka. And that's when she said, "Oh my God, thank you so much," and everyone just screamed, "Oh, you're so awesome! It's really cool." I was like, "Thank you." Welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka. Just sharing a story with the young lads who are here on the show from the Youth Association program, and we were just catching up on the event that happened just a few weeks ago. A few weeks, I believe.
Months.
A few months ago. I'm very slow with time, unfortunately. So welcome back to the show, Killa and Rahal. Now, we were just getting into your future projects down the pipeline, and you started speaking about the workshop that you just had on the 8th. Can you tell a bit about that, please?
So basically what we did was Birendra and a few guests went to the Trinity College in Kandy last Saturday. if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
all the way to Kandy.
Yeah.
So you've reached that far already. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we went there and we gave them a workshop, and not just for the Trinity College students, but like for schools in Kandy in that area. We gave them a workshop based on like just showing them basically what it is and how serious the problem is. We gave them out some pamphlets and etc. We took a few guests as well. I think Miss Rosie Senanayaka came and she spoke about it because she's also quite passionate on the topic, and a few other esteemed guests that came and they spoke on the topic, and they had a panel of judges and guests that spoke on it and told them like the plans for the future. They spoke about how we're going to have a debating competition soon, an essay competition, a writing competition, etc. So that like the kids aren't just doing it for the sake of doing it, they're actually doing it because they like that stuff. I mean, I'm a debater, and so I like debating about stuff. Akil plays basketball, so we're looking into also holding some sort of like inter-school basketball tournament where the proceeds will go towards women's abuse and stuff like that.
That's amazing. So that's down the pipeline for this year.
Yeah.
And gradually more things will come along
in the following years. Yeah.
Awesome. That's really good stuff. All right. So I'm really interested. If I was, like, if I really wanted to join the Youth Association program, could I be in it? Am I too not young?
Not at all.
Score.
It's
so
really
you could, yeah. We've got a Facebook page.
Right.
It's called Men Don't Abuse RMDA. You can go on it, like our stuff. Comment if you want, add videos about your thoughts or your ideas and how we could deal